Have you ever wondered if your phone actually gets heavier when you fill it up with photos? I mean, it sounds like a silly question, right? But the answer, well, it reveals a pretty surprising truth about the physics of our digital lives. We're going to dig into that right now. And by the way, this is all based on a fantastic article you can read in full over at n.techfocus.sr. Just think about it for a second. We take pictures of everything, don't we? Our lunch, the sunset, about a million selfies. Gigabytes and gigabytes just piling up on our phones. So, does filling your phone with all those memories actually make it physically heavier? Okay, so the short answer is a big, emphatic no. In any way that you could possibly measure, your smartphone does not get heavier. And the key thing to get your head around here is that digital data isn't like, pouring water into a glass. You're not adding physical chunks of stuff. You're just changing the state of the material that was already there to begin with. So what does that actually mean? States, not stuff? Well, it means we're not adding new matter. Instead, we're making these microscopic little changes to things like electrical charges or magnetic orientations that are already inside your device's memory chips. Let's just quickly look at the two main ways we store our digital lives. On one side, you've got flash memory. That's the solid-state stuff inside your phone and most modern laptops. And on the other, the classic spinning platters of a traditional hard disk drive, or an HDD. In your phone, data gets saved by trapping these teeny tiny electrons in something called floating gates. Now here's the crucial detail. Electrons do have mass, but the amount we're talking about is, well, it's infinitesimal. I mean, if you filled an entire solid-state drive, you'd only add a few picograms of weight. That's trillionths of a gram. There's no scale on Earth that could possibly detect that. Now, with the older hard drives, it's even simpler. You're not adding or removing anything at all. You're just flipping the magnetic direction of tiny particles on a spinning disk. Think of it like turning a bunch of microscopic compass needles to point either north or south. The number of atoms stays exactly the same, so the measurable mass, it doesn't change one bit. Okay, so the physical weight of our data is basically zero. Case closed, right? Well, not so fast, because this is where the whole story takes a really dramatic turn. While the weight isn't in your pocket, your data carries a different and much more significant kind of weight. This is what we call its energetic weight. So let's talk about this energetic weight. The real cost of our endless photo galleries isn't the physical mass they add to our phones. Nope, it's the massive hidden infrastructure that's required to store, access, and keep that data alive 24/7. We love the term the cloud. It sounds so light, so fluffy and immaterial, but the reality is anything but. The cloud is intensely physical. It's made of concrete and steel. We're talking acres and acres of power-hungry server racks in these giant data centers, all humming away and generating an immense amount of heat. And the energy bill for all of this? It's staggering. Those data centers have to run around the clock just to make sure your photos are always available. They need massive cooling systems to stop from literally melting down. And every single time you access a photo, it travels through miles of cables and routers, all of which are burning electricity. So here's the bottom line. All that energy consumption has a real-world environmental cost. Every time you automatically sync your gallery, or send a video, or back up your files to the cloud, you're contributing to a global carbon footprint. Our seemingly weightless digital archives actually have a very, very heavy impact. But here's the good news. Now that we understand the real weight of data, we can actually do something about it. And it's not about giving up our technology. It's just about being smarter with it, by practicing good digital hygiene to lighten that footprint. It really just boils down to 3 simple strategies. First, clean out the junk. Come on, go through your phone and delete the blurry photos, the 20 near-identical shots of the same thing, all those old screenshots. They're just demanding energy for no reason. Second, be smart about syncing. Do you really need to auto-backup every single photo you take? Be selective. And third, and this one's a big one, embrace cold storage. This quote right here, it says it all. For photos and files you rarely need, your long-term archive, just use a local external hard drive. Once you've saved your files, you can unplug it and put it on a shelf. It consumes 0 power. Compare that to the cloud, which is always on, always consuming energy, just in case you might want to access that one photo from 2012. So let's bring it all together. On one side of the scale, you have the physics, a mass change so small it's measured in picograms, it's effectively weightless to us. But on the other side, you have the reality, a huge impact measured in watts and carbon, requiring a massive industrial infrastructure. Understanding this difference is the absolute key to reducing the real weight of our digital lives. In the end, our technology really is a kind of magic, letting us capture and share memories instantly. But we just have to remember that all magic requires energy. By practicing a little digital hygiene, we can keep our memories safe without needlessly burdening the grid. And hey, if you want to learn even more, I highly recommend reading the full story over at en.techfocus.rs.